Hi, my name is Samantha Sauter, and today we are going to be discussing the topic on traveling to Lake Como. Alrighty, so often when we think of Italy, most people gravitate towards cities such as Florence or Rome. But let's travel north to Lake Como, a city full of traditional Italian architecture, clear blue water, and is aligned with the Swiss Alps. Now today you might ask yourself, what does this have relevancy to me? To which I will tell you, everyone has a place where they've dreamed to travel, and this happens to be one of mine. Lake Como has an extended geography to offer travelers, which allows for several different options of excursions and adventures. Today in my speech, we'll be going over 3 main points, the first being the water excursions offered at Lake Como, the second being exploring the beautiful inland city of Como, and lastly, we will discuss the mountainous topography that surrounds Lake Como. So first I will cover what Lake Como accommodates to travelers who venture to experience that crystalline water. So even with the luxury of being surrounded by the most beautiful water in the world, Lake Como can be explored cost efficiently. An activity that will give you those Instagram-worthy pictures but not break the bank would be kayaking. According to Dina Mashiv in her 2016 Washington Post titled Circumnavigating Italy's Storied Lake Como by Paddle and Pedal, states that the town was founded by fishermen in the 8th century and doesn't actually have any streets. Rather, it has walkways and water access. Now, with a little bit of research, I've noted that with kayaking, you do have about 2 hours of a rental period for about $36, so again, really manageable for your money. Another great option with Lake Como's water would be hopping onto a charming cruise, and this will grant visitors picturesque surroundings and a full day of sightseeing. Now with boat tours, there are 2 different options. We're going to have our private boat tours and our public boat tours. I would opt out for a private boat tour, as this is something that I know that I'll specifically save for, since it is about $300 for 2 hours on a private boat tour. So now that we have explored the depths of Lake Como, I would like to discuss the adventures to which the land offers to travelers. So the coast of Lake Como is aligned with villas, and they embody beautiful architecture and vast gardens. According to GardenDestinations.com's article titled The 5 Spectacular Gardens in Lake Como, states that Lake Como has a unique microclimate where the tropical plants thrive and a long history of lavish summer states, as well as it being surrounded by, again, the most beautiful gardens of Italy. Now, there are 2 villas that I would like to go and visit on my travels to Lake Como. The first being Villa Coralito. This villa really does provide a great example of that unique climate with its array of bamboo forests, rock succulent gardens, valley of ferns, and lastly, those artfully placed viewpoints of the lake. Another great option for a villa might be Villa Milza. This ground contains a variety of plant specimens and again, renowned architecture. It was actually Francesco Milza de Arredo, the Duke of Lodi, as well as a personal friend of Napoleon, who ordered the construction of this in the early 19th century. Now that we have talked about both the water and the land of Lake Como, the last thing I would like to speak on is the mountainous topography that surrounds that Y-shaped lake. Just like the water excursions, the Swiss Alps give you affordable excursions with having those luxury experiences. So hiking might be a great option. I, for one, am not an avid hiker, so I opt out for a gentle hike to a small chapel of San Domingo. Looking at the map, this was roughly about an hour hike, so I would just pack a few snacks and be ready to take a picture. Another great option to be a little bit resourceful with your funds would be utilizing the railway that has been used since 1894. According to DiscoverComo.com's local guide page, it states that a trip on the railway will offer spectacular views and an opportunity to see the panoramic view of Como's rural area. Now, I am afraid of heights, so this is something that I am a little bit worried about, but the view of the Azor Lake and the side-sweeping mountainside is something that I'm not going to let myself and our fears be a barrier for. So in conclusion, Lake Como has various options to explore with the array of landscaping. Today we've gone over 3 different main points, the first being the glassy blue water of Lake Como and the various ways of exploring it, the second being the coast and inland city and the examples of the microclimates that is provided there, and lastly the heights of Como. Now I want to end my speech by saying that the beauty of Lake Como has been shining for centuries, and I hope that my speech was able to give you just a small ounce of its beauty. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.